Leeds Meets Shakespeare is a project aimed at Year 1 English as a Second Language students, so that's EAL learners. The project is about whether using Shakespeare at such a young age with kids whose first language is not English can improve their literacy, oracy and skills in self-esteem and empathy.
I think there's expanding research and also practice going on using Shakespeare with English as an additional language learners. But the work around it so far has been really concentrated on people at further education or higher education level. So it's really interesting now to see if we can expand that work down to a focus on students in schools with EAL and see if you can take it younger.
Why Shakespeare? Shakespeare's stories are full of characters that are larger than life, and the moral dilemmas they face are ones that can really engage those young children. Why Year 1? They're not frightened. They're not frightened by the language and they're not frightened by the stories. In fact, they embrace them because they can see into those stories the relevance to their own lives.
We're talking here about bilingual and often actually multilingual children who have a very good understanding of the fact that languages can be very different, and I think they will readily embrace Shakespearean language.
One of our sort of big interests as a Black and Asian theatre company, we're really interested in how Shakespeare is presented. We've tried to basically say there's nothing to be scared about Shakespeare, you know, but also just kind of understanding Shakespeare in a different way. And not thinking that it's a traditionally quintessentially English thing. It's their stories for everyone, for every culture.
Overall, for us, the project was important because of what it represented, the demographics that it covers as well. Being a third generation British Kashmiri myself, I can really relate to a lot of the people that are going to be attending.
It's been amazing. When I first heard about it, I was like, really? Not Shakespeare with Year 1. I can remember my own experience of Shakespeare was very negative. So I was like, how are we going to do it with Year 1? And we've just seen the children blossom into it. The story they can tell is amazing. They can still tell the story of Tempest far better than I can.
I think particularly at this age, children are kind of curious. Learning is mostly about fun. They're not inhibited too much. So when they come across new words, they see it as quite a challenge just to take it on. They don't see it as a block.
Drama enables young people to explore their imagination and their creativity. It's a really helpful tool for developing vocabulary, but also really importantly, it helps them develop as young humans. So it gives them confidence to speak, it gives them comfort in teamwork, and it enables them to explore the world beyond their own means.
We need to give children the opportunity to build their confidence, build their self-belief, and do that through an oracy project like this is really lifted their motivation, engagement and excitement, because it's been brilliantly exciting for the children and for all the adults.
As teachers, we're control freaks and we like to have control of a whole situation. We have to kind of relinquish a little bit of that and kind of let the children guide us and be prepared for where they're going to take us. We really have had to kind of decide that we are throwing ourselves into this 100% and just kind of go with it. So there's none of that kind of being, oh, I'm embarrassed about this or I'm worried about that. You kind of just have to kind of jump in, kind of feet first, and just kind of roll with it.
Children just want an invitation to play, especially in Key Stage 1, and just inviting them into this storyline is all it's taken. They've been so willing, and then once you've got them, you've got that momentum, that energy. The rest just follows.
The children I've found have been much more interactive with me leading, because there are these sort of expectations with the visitor that you're sitting nicely and really quietly, whereas with me they're sort of more willing to sort of put the hand up or call out an answer or just join in a little bit more.
Shakespeare's stories are fantastic, ready-made, high-quality works. They're very adaptable, they're very flexible. You can take Shakespeare, play it in so many different ways, pull it apart and reconstruct it.
It really can enthuse these children. I think Shakespeare's language is fantastic, his stories are so rich, and they have applications across cultures.
It's really taught me as a teacher to step back from the pressures that the academic world puts on things and see children and how their play with words and with the ideas can bring a story to life for them in a much deeper way.
The more animated you are, the more willing the children are to believe that you are that character.
It's just invaluable, and just my top tip would be just go with it, just go for it.
I can't imagine us doing literacy in any other way, to be honest, so it's been brilliant.